Good morning, radio fans. Big Al here on this Friday, July 8th, 2022. And we are back with another edition of AM and FM radio stations from across the country. And I'm continuing my series on the AM and FM radio stations across southern lower Michigan. And today we're taking a look at the Flint radio market. Now, this is not just the Flint stations we'll be looking at. We'll also be looking at the Tri-Cities area of Saginaw, Bay City, and Midland, and Michigan's Thumb region, which also includes Port Huron and some other smaller areas in that portion of the state. So, if you like what I'm doing, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel and ring the bell twice and get notified every time I post a video. Okay, that being said, let's jump right in to the AM and FM radio stations across Flint, the Tri-Cities, and Michigan's Thumb region. Starting off on AM, you got AM 600 Wsnl Flint, branded as Victory 600 and 106.5, which is a Christian talk and teaching station. Signing on the air for the first time as WTCB on April 26, 1946. This makes it one of the oldest radio stations in Flint. They also used WTAC as its call sign until becoming WSNL on March 11, 1997. WSNL has a Class B license with the FCC, broadcasting with a daytime ERP of 440 watts and a nighttime ERP of 250 watts. Their studios are located at 5210 South Saginaw Road in Flint. Their transmitter is on Morash Road near Grand Blanc Road in Schwartz Creek. That's a suburb of Flint. WSNL is locally owned by the Christian Broadcasting System, and WSNL also serves as the company's flagship station. Programming is relayed on translator station W293CA Flint on 106.5 FM. 660 is WMIC Sandusky, Michigan. This is on the Thumb region. They're known as WMIC 660 AM, the Thumb's information station. This is a full-service news, talk, and country music station. WMIC signed on the air on 1560 AM on June 27, 1968. The station then moved to 660 in 1987. WMIC has a Class D license with the FCC, operating with an effective radiated power output of 1,000 watts during daytime hours only. Their studios are located at 19 East Elk Street in Sandusky. Their transmitter is on West Cooper Road, west of M19, which is also in the city of Sandusky. WMIC is owned by Synelac/GB Broadcasting. Programming is relayed on translator station W237EQ 95.3 FM Sandusky. Now, WMIC's main signal broadcasts on 660 kilohertz, which is a clear channel frequency in the United States. That being said, WMIC must sign off the air at local sunset by FCC rules and regulations, as they are on the clear channel frequency of 660. 790 is WSGW AM Saginaw, News Radio 100.5 and 790 WSGW. This station broadcasts a news talk format. Affiliations with CBS Radio, the Michigan Radio Network, the Detroit Lions, the Detroit Red Wings, and the Detroit Tigers. They also air Michigan Wolverines football and men's basketball on WSGW AM. This station signed on the air in 1950. They have a Class B license with the Federal Communications Commission, broadcasting with a daytime ERP of 5,000 watts and a nighttime ERP of 1,000 watts. Their studios are located at 1795 Tittabawassee Road in Saginaw. Their transmitter is located off of Uncle Henry Road in Bloomfield Township. WSGW-AM is owned by Alpha Media and licensed to Alpha Media Licensee, LLC, and some programming is simulcast on sister station Wsgw Fm 100.5 in Carrollton, Michigan. More on that station once we jump to the FM side of the band. 1080 is WOAP Owasso. They're known as Portal 103.1, which features an alternative rock format. WOAP signed on the air on January 1st, 1948. They have a Class D license with the FCC, broadcasting with an effective radiated power of 1,000 watts during daytime hours only. So this station is also required to sign off at sunset per FCC regulations. Studios are located at 2301 North M52 in Owasso, which is also the location of the station's transmitter. WOAP is owned by Cynthia Kalatlik Kano. Cynthia Silatlik Kano, and licensed to Kano's Broadcasting, LLC. As I said, WOAP must sign off the air at sundown, as they too are on a clear channel frequency at 1080 kilohertz. However, their programming is simulcast, or rather repeated, on translator station W276CZ on 103.1 FM, which is licensed to Saginaw, but serves Owasso and Corona, Michigan. 1160 is WCXI, Fenton, Michigan. This is a suburb of Flint. They're known as Freedom 1160, and they have a conservative talk format. Signing on the air on November 15, 1985 as WFEN. 1160 underwent 4 call sign changes using 3 different sets of call letters, including WCXI, from October 12, 1992 to August 20th, 1993. They have a Class B license with the FCC, operating at 15,000 watts days, 400 watts nights. Their studios are located at 21,700 Northwestern Highway, Tower 14 in Southfield, Michigan. In fact, that's where their programming originates from. Their 15,000 watt daytime transmitter is located at Wsam Habitat in Wixom, Michigan, as is their nighttime transmitter, which operates at 400 watts. Now, Wixom is a far northwestern suburb of Detroit, so this is one, if not the only, Flint radio station that goes into portions of Metro Detroit. WCXI, I should say, is owned by Bi-Range Broadcasting Corporation. And as I said, the station's signal reaches the northwestern suburbs of Detroit. Next up is 1230 WMPC, Lapeer, Michigan. Gospel 1230 with a religious format. They signed on the air on December 6, 1926, and this is one of the oldest running radio stations in mid-Michigan. They have a Class C license with the Federal Communications Commission, broadcasting at 1,000 watts effective radiated power. Their studios are located at 1800 North Lapeer Road in Lapeer. Their mailing address is P.O. Box 104, Lapeer, Michigan 48446. Station's transmitter is also at 1800 North Lapeer Road in Lapeer. WMPC is owned by Calvary Bible Church of Lapeer, and programming repeats on translator station W295CT 106.9 FM, also licensed in Lapeer. And WMPC has the distinction of being the oldest continuously running Christian station in the United States. Next up on 1250 is WJMK, Bridgeport, Michigan. Me TV Music, 1250 AM 90, which features an oldies format. Me TV FM. WJMK signed on the air on November 26, 1956 as WWBC. The station underwent 7 call sign changes using 6 sets of call letters, including WXOX, which they used twice, from 1962 till November 1st, 1983, and again from February 13th, 1984 until August 23rd of 1996. WJMK has a Class D license with the Federal Communications Commission. They broadcast at 5,000 watts during the day and 1,000 or rather 1,100 watts at night. And before I forget, the station did become WJMK back on November 4th, or rather April 4th of 2018. WJMK studios are located at 306 West Genesee Street in Frankenmuth, Michigan, with transmitting facilities off Gable Road in Bridgeport Charter Township. WJMK is owned by Northern States Broadcasting, and programming is repeated on translator station W257EO, Bridgeport, Michigan, on 99.3 FM. 1330 is WTRX Flint, Sports Extra 1330, featuring a sports format, affiliated with CBS Sports Radio, and this is the Flint affiliate of the Michigan Wolverines. So you'll hear Wolverines football and men's hoops on Sports Extra 1330. This station signed on as WBDC on October 1st, 1947, underwent 2 call sign changes with 2 sets of call letters. Originally used WTRX as its call sign from January 13th, 1960 till May 22nd, 1989, and is currently on its second run as WTRX. WTRX has a Class B license with the FCC, broadcasting with a daytime ERP of 5,000 watts and a nighttime ERP of 1,000 watts. Studios are located at 6317 Taylor Drive in Flint. Transmitters at 3076 East Bristol Road in the nearby suburb of Burton, Michigan. WTRX, which is also Flint's affiliate of the Detroit Tigers, is owned by Cumulus Media and licensed to Radio License Holding CBC LLC. Sports Extra 1330 also airs Detroit Tigers baseball and Detroit Lions football. Short space next to them on 1340 is WLEWAM, Bad Axe, Michigan. 1340 AM WLEW. This station features a country music format and affiliations with the Michigan Farm Radio Network. This station signed on the air in 1950. They have a Class C license with the Federal Communications Commission, broadcasting with an ERP of 1,000 watts. Studios and transmitter are located at 935 South Van Dyke Road in Bad Axe, and is owned by Thumb Broadcasting. Short space next to them on 1350 is WGDN AM, Gladwin, Michigan. The Northern Light, 96.5 FM, featuring a religious format. This station signed on the air as WJEB on December 7th, 1974, and became WGDN on February 10th, 1987. WGDN has a Class D license with the Federal Communications Commission, broadcasting with an effective rated power of 250 watts during daytime hours only. So by FCC law, this station is required to leave the air at sunset. Studios and transmitter are located at 3601 West Woods Road in Gladwin. WGDN is owned by the Apple Broadcasting Company and again must sign off the air at sunset per FCC regulations, but their programming is relayed 24 hours a day on translator station W243EA on 96.5 FM in Gladwin. Short space next to them on 1360 is WKYO, Carroll, Michigan. That's CARO. They're branded as Classic Country WKYO. That said, this is a classic country format with affiliations with the ABC Information Network, the Michigan Farm Radio Network, and the Michigan Radio Network. WKYO signed on the air on May 19, 1962. They have a Class B license with the FCC, broadcasting with an ERP of 1,000 watts. Their studios presumably are located in Carroll, Michigan. They did not give a specific location. Their mailing address, however, is P.O. Box 106, Carroll, Michigan 48723. Their transmitter is located off of Wine Lake Road in Indian Fields Township, Michigan, and they are owned by Edwards Communications. 1380 is WPHM, Port Huron. So this is our first Port Huron station on the list. News, Talk, and Sports, 1380 WPHM, featuring a news, talk, and sports format affiliated with ABC Radio, Bloomberg Radio, the SportsMap Radio Network, Brownfield AG News, and this is also Port Huron's home for Michigan State Spartans football and men's basketball. WPHM signed on as WTTH on December 6, 1947, and became WPHM in 1970. WPHM has a Class B license with the FCC, broadcasting at 5,000 watts effective radiated power full-time. Their studios are located at 808 Huron Avenue in Port Huron. Transmitter is off of South Range Road in St. Clair Township. The owner is Radio First. 1400 is Wsam Saginaw, 1400 AM and 104 FM The Bay. This station features a soft adult contemporary format, signing on the air on 1200 kilohertz in March of 1940. The station moved to 1230 kilohertz just a few months later in June of 1940, and then to the present day 1400 in 1942. They have a Class C license with the FCC, broadcasting at 1,000 watts effective radiated power, with studios located at 2000 Whittier Street in Saginaw. Their transmitter is on South 15th Street at Whittier, north of M46, also in Saginaw. WSAM is locally owned by Saginaw-based McDonald Broadcasting. Programming is simulcast on WSAG 104.1 FM, Linwood, Michigan. More on that station on the FM side of the band. And relayed on translator station W222CQ Saginaw on 92.3 FM. 1420 is Wflt Flint, the best variety of gospel music. This station plays urban gospel, and they signed on the air as WAMM in 1955 and became WFLT on December 31st, 1980. WFLT has a Class D license with the Federal Communications Commission, operating at 500 watts daytime ERP and 142 watts nighttime ERP. Their studios and transmitter are at 317 South Averill Avenue in Flint. WFLT is owned by the Christian Evangelical Broadcasting Association. Easy for me to say. 1440 is WMAX AM Bay City. Ave Maria Radio. Featuring it has a religious format and Catholic-based talk and Catholic-based sermons. WMAX AM, that's the Bay City station, signed on the air on April 23rd, 1925 at 11:50 a.m. as Wskc. The station underwent 4 call sign changes using 3 sets of call letters, including WBCM from 1930 to 1977 and 1979 to 1991. The station became WMAX AM on July 30th, 1992. Now, folks in Western Michigan are familiar with WMAX because that used to be the call letters of a radio station in Grand Rapids on 1480. The WMAX call sign is presently being used in Grand Rapids on a sports station at 96.1 as Wmic FM. Okay, where am I? WMAX AM has a Class B license with the FCC, broadcasting at 5,000 watts effective radiated power days, 2,500 watts effective radiated power nights. Programming originates from WMAX AM's sister station, WDEO. Now, that's the Catholic station out of Detroit. And their studios are located at 24 Frank Lloyd Wright Drive, number C1580 in Ann Arbor. Their mailing address is P.O. Box 504, Ann Arbor, Michigan, 48106-9902. WMAX AM's transmitter is at 2542 West Freeland Road in Bay City. And they are owned by Word Broadcasters, which also owns WDEO, and licensed to AM Media Services. WMAX AM's programming is relayed on translator station W290DM at 105.9 FM, licensed to Midland, Michigan. Next up on 1450 is WHLS Port Huron, Rock 105.5, featuring an alternative rock format. And they are Port Huron's affiliate for the Michigan Wolverines. So you'll hear Wolverines football and men's hoops on Rock 105.5. This station signed on the air on August 8, 1938, which I think would make it the oldest radio station in Port Huron. They have a Class C license with the FCC, broadcasting at 1,000 watts full time. Studios are located at 808 Huron Avenue, with transmitter located off of 32nd Street, both located in Port Huron. WHLS is owned by Radio First. Programming repeats on translator station W288BT, St. Clair, Michigan on 105.5 FM, the source of the station's brand. 1470 is Wfmt Flint. 1470 WFNT, featuring a news talk format with affiliations with both Fox News Radio and Fox Sports Radio. WFNT signed on in 1947 as WCLC. The station changed its call sign twice before switching to WFNT on October the 1st of 1993. WFNT has a Class B license with the FCC, broadcasting with a daytime ERP of 5,000 watts and a nighttime ERP of 1,000 watts. Studios are located at 3338 East Bristol Road in the Flint suburb of Burton, Michigan. Transmitter is on East Bristol Road and FDP Drive, also in Burton. WFNT is owned by Town Square Media and licensed to Town Square Media of Flint, Incorporated. 1490 is WMPX Midland, 1077 The Highway. This station plays classic country. Signing on the air as WMDV in 1948, became WMPX in 1971. They have a Class C license with the FCC, broadcasting at 1,000 watts. Studios and transmitter are located at 1510 Bayless Street in Midland. WMPX is owned by Black Diamond Broadcasting. Programming is relayed on translator station W299CK 107.7 FM Midland. 1530 takes us back to the thumb. That's WLCO, Lapeer, Michigan. US 103.1 featuring a classic rock format. WLCO signed on as WTHM on November 16, 1962, and underwent 3 call sign changes with 3 different sets of call letters until becoming WLCO on March 1st, 2007. WLCO is a Class D license with the Federal Communications Commission, broadcasting with an effective radiated power of 5,000 watts during daytime hours only. So by FCC regulations, WLCO is required to go off the air at sunset. Studios are located at 3338 East Bristol Road in Burton. Transmitter is on Morris Road in Lapeer, the station's city of license. WLCO is owned by Town Square Media and licensed to Town Square Media of Flint, Incorporated, so that makes it a sister station to WFNT. And WLCO, as I said, simulcast WQUS 103.1 FM, which is also licensed to Lapeer during daytime hours, as WLCO must sign off the air at sunset on 1530. 1570 is WWCK AM Flint, K107.3, which plays classic hits, affiliated with the Michigan State Spartans. So this is the station in Flint where you'll hear Spartans football and Spartans men's basketball. This station signed on as WMRP on November 11th, 1946. They underwent 4 call sign changes using 4 sets of call letters until they became WWCK AM on May 17th, 1986. They have a Class D license with the FCC. That's the signal on 1570 broadcasts at 1,000 watts daytime and 179 watts nighttime. The FM translator station, which we'll talk about momentarily, operates at 250 watts full-time. Studios are located at 6317 Taylor Drive, Flint. Transmitter is on Dort Highway, or M54, at I-69, also in Flint. WWCK AM is owned by Cumulus Media and licensed to Cumulus Licensing, LLC. Programming is relayed on the aforementioned translator station, which is W297CG Flint on 107.3 FM. And rounding out the AM portion of the dial is 1590 WHLX Marine City, 92.7 WHLX The Hills. This station plays adult album alternative as well as Americana music. This station signed on the air on December 10th, 1951 as WSDC. They underwent 4 call sign changes using 4 sets of call letters and became WHLX on September 19th, 2000. WHLX has a Class D license with the FCC, broadcasting with an ERP daytime of 1,000 watts and a nighttime ERP of 102 watts. Studios are located at 808 Huron Avenue in Port Huron. Their transmitter is on Marine City Highway in China Township. All right. And this station is also owned by Radio First. Programming is relayed on translator station W224DT at 92.7 FM in Port Huron. That's the AM band. Now we're off to the FM band, and we'll start with the traditional non-commercial band on FM. All right, these first four stations are pretty much the same, so we'll get them out the way first. All right, you've got WHYT Goodland Township, Michigan on 88.1 channel 201, which airs to the Lapeer area. WEJC White Star, Michigan. This is aimed at the Tri-Cities, Saginaw, Bay City, and Midland on 88.3 channel 202. Next up is WSMB Harbor Beach, Michigan on 89.3 channel 207, which airs to the Bad Axe area. And WTAC Burton, Michigan, which broadcasts to Flint on 89.7 channel 209. All four stations are a part of Smile FM, playing contemporary Christian music. The first sign-on for all four stations were unlisted on Wikipedia, so I do not have that information. WHYT Goodland Township operates at 400 watts effective radiated power from its transmitter located at the end of Thorn Drive in Burnside Township. WEJC White Star operates at 55,000 watts from its transmitter on Wetters Road off of I-75 in Linwood. WSMB Harbor Beach broadcasts at an ERP of 12,000 watts from its transmitter off of South Bad Axe Road in Bingham Township. And WTAC Burton broadcasts with an effective radiated power of 15,000 watts from its transmitter near the intersection of Peabody Drive and Foley Road in suburban Fenton, Michigan. Programming originates from Smile FM's main studios in Williamston, Michigan, and secondary studios in Imlay City, Michigan. And all four stations are owned by Superior Communications. Translator station W247CG, Russellville, Michigan on 97.3 FM, relays WTAC. And translator station W247CU, Fort Gratiot, Michigan, also on 97.3 FM, relays WVMV out of China Township, which airs on 91.5. And that translator serves the Port Huron area. WHYT, that's the Lapeer station, has a construction permit with the FCC to upgrade its ERP from 400 watts to 6,000 watts from the same transmitter in Burnside Township. All right, 88.3 channel 202 has a standalone station, and that's WNFA Port Huron, now known as Thrive Radio, featuring Christian teaching programs and contemporary worship music. WNFA signed on May 15, 1986. The station used WZJI as its call sign from January through November 1985 during their construction permit, but switched to WNFA upon the station's sign-on. They have a Class A license with the FCC, operating at 1,300 watts effective radiated power. Their studios are located at 908 Military Street, and their transmitter is located at the Ross Bible Church at 2865 Maywood Drive, both in Port Huron. And WNFA is owned by the Ross Bible Church. Short space next to them on 88.5 channel 203 is WCTP Gagetown. Christian Radio 88.5, featuring a Southern Gospel format. This station signed on the air as WPEE, no joke, in April of 2006. Its call sign dates back to December 15th of 2005. The station became WCTP on December 28th, 2006. They have a Class A license with the FCC, broadcasting full-time at 6,000 watts. Their studios are located at 4330 Farver Road in Gagetown. The transmitter is off of South Van Dyke Road, or M53, in Bad Axe, Michigan, and they are owned by Planta Broadcasting. .9 channel 205 and 89.1 channel 206 both air the same programming, so we'll knock these two stations out quickly. All right, 88.9 channel 205 is Wkmf Flint, and 89.1 channel 206 is WLKB Bay City. Both stations are a part of the K-Love radio network, featuring a contemporary Christian format. All right, Wkmf Flint signed on the air in September 1997 as WGRI and used WAKL as a call sign from 2001 through 2019 and became WKMF thereafter. They have a Class A license with the FCC, broadcasting at 380 watts. Their transmitter is located on South Vassar Road, north of East Bristol in Burton. Meanwhile, WLKB Bay City signed on the air in July of 1993 as WTRK, and they became WLKB on December 18th, 2006. All right. WLKB has a Class C2 license, operating at 50,000 watts from its transmitter on East Campus Road in Bay City. Studios are located in programming originates from K-Love's headquarters in Rocklin, California, which is outside of Sacramento. All right. Mailing address for donations is P.O. Box 2098, Omaha, Nebraska 68103-2098. Their mailing address for general correspondence is 5700 West Fair Oaks Boulevard, Rocklin, California 95765. Both stations are owned by the Educational Media Foundation, or EMF. WKMF's programming is relayed on translator stations W261BH Flint on 100.1 and W292DA Linden, Michigan on 106.3. WLKB has no translator stations. Moving on, 98, or rather 89.5, channel 208. Is more so north central Michigan, but this station does come in portions of mid Michigan. And that's Wcmu Fm Mount Pleasant. Branded as CMU Public Radio. This station has news, talk programming, classical music, and jazz music. Affiliations with National Public Radio and Public Radio International. Wcmu Fm first signed on April 6, 1964, initially on 90.1 FM. The station moved to 89.5 FM in the mid-70s. Wcmu Fm has a Class C1 license with the FCC, broadcasting with an effective radiated power output of 100,000 watts. Their studios are located on the Central Michigan University campus at 1999 East Campus Drive in Mount Pleasant. The transmitter is on West Campus Drive near Kelly Short Stadium. That's the football stadium on the CMU campus, also in Mount Pleasant. And judging by this station's call sign, WCMU FM is owned by Central Michigan University, if that wasn't a dead giveaway already. WCMU's programming is simulcast across Northern Michigan and the UP on 5 stations. WCML 91.7 FM Alpena, WCMB 95.7 FM Oscoda, WWCM 96.9 FM Standish, WCMZ 98.3 FM Sault Ste. Marie, and WCHW 103.9 FM in Harbor Springs, Michigan. 90.1 channel 211, broadcasting in high definition, and there weren't too many high definition signals in this market, is Wcx Fm Bay City. They're branded as Delta College Public Radio on 90.1 FM analog and 90.1-1 is news, talk, and variety. And on 90.1-2 is WCMU News and Talk, which is a straight news talk station. WUCX is affiliated with NPR, American Public Media, Public Radio Exchange, and Public Radio International. WUCX signed on the air in September of 1989. They have a Class C2 license with the FCC, broadcasting with an effective radiated power of 30,000 watts. We'll get to their transmitter in a sec. Their studios are located at Delta College at 1961 Delta Road, which is technically in Bay City, but they listed as University Center, Michigan. As for their transmitter, it's located on Dutcher Road in Hampton Township. WUCX is owned by Central Michigan University, so this is a sister station to WCMU. And the station is operated jointly by both CMU and Delta College. Okay, one more note on this station. WUCX airs programming separate from WCMU Monday through Fridays from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Saturdays from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And Sundays from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time. 90.7 Channel 214 is WNFR Sandusky. 90.7 Hope FM. This is a religious format with Christian music and Christian talk. WNFR signed on the air in 1994. They have a Class B license with the FCC, broadcasting at 42,000 watts from studios at 908 Military Street in Port Huron, and transmitter off of Crosswell Road in Jeddo, Michigan. Jeddo is spelled Jeddo. WNFR is owned by Ross Bible Church. Short space next to them on 90.9 Channel 215 is WTRK, Freeland, Michigan. Now this is the Flint affiliate of Air One, which features contemporary worship music. This station signed on the air on October 12th of 2001. I wasn't too sure about that, so I put a question mark next to it. The station's FCC license and effective radiated power were unlisted on Wikipedia. Programming originates from Air One Studios in Rockland, California. Mailing address is P.O. Box 2118, Omaha, Nebraska 68103-2118. The station's transmitter is on Hotchkiss Drive at East Campus Road. That's on the Delta College campus in Bay City. WTRK is owned by EMF. That was 8.9. So this next station is short spaced. In fact, these next two stations are short spaced. 91.1 Channel 216 is Wfum Flint, Michigan Radio, with a public radio news talk format affiliations with NPR, Public Radio International, American Public Media, and the BBC World Service. WFUM signed on August 23rd, 1985, initially by the University of Michigan Flint. That's where they got their call sign from. They have a Class B license with the FCC, broadcasting with an effective radiated power output of 17,500 watts. Programming originates from Michigan Radio's headquarters at 535 West William Street, Suite 110 in Ann Arbor, which I assume is on the U of M main campus. WFUM's transmitter is in Goodrich, Michigan, off of Kip Road. WFUM, of course, is owned by the University of Michigan. And this is the Michigan radio affiliate for Flint and the Tri-Cities. Short space next to them on 91.3 Channel 217 is a pair of stations. One's aimed at the Tri-Cities, the other's aimed to Port Huron. So the first station up is Wcxi Fm Bay City, the Rock of the Tries. This station plays rock and classical music. They play classical music primarily during the evening and overnight hours. WCHW signed on in 1973. They have a Class A license with the FCC, broadcasting at 110 watts effective radiated power. Station studios and transmitter are located at Bay City Central High School at 1624 Columbus Avenue in Bay City. And the station is owned by Bay City Public Schools. WCHW's classical programming comes from Raleigh-Durham classical station WCPE. The other station on 91.3 is WRSX Port Huron, which is also part of Michigan Radio, with a public radio news talk format. They signed on the air as WSGR Fm in 1974 and became WRSX in 2018. They have a Class A license with the FCC, broadcasting at 120 watts. Studios are at 499 Range Road in Marysville, Michigan. Their transmitter is located at the end of River Street near the St. Clair County Community College in Port Huron. WRSX, which is the Michigan radio affiliate for Port Huron and Michigan's Thumb region, is owned by the St. Clair County Regional Education Service Agency. And rounding out the traditional non-commercial band is 91.9 Channel 220, which is WORW Port Huron. 91.9 The Wave FM. This is a non-commercial top 40 CHR station, which signed on the air on September 30th, 1981. They have a Class A license with the FCC, broadcasting with a effective radiated power of 170 watts, horizontal polarization only. The station studios and transmitter are located at 1799 Craft Road in Port Huron. And this station is owned by the Port Huron Area School District. Now to the commercial band on FM. Starting off with 92.1 Channel 221, WIDL, Cass City, Michigan. They're branded as I-92, featuring a classic rock format, and they have affiliations with both the Michigan Radio Network and the Michigan Wolverines. This station signed on as WIDL in 1974, but became WKYO FM on November 29, 1982, before switching back to WIDL on August 24, 1985. They have a Class C3 license with the FCC, broadcasting with an ERP of 25,000 watts. Studios are located at 344 North State Street in Carroll, Michigan. Transmitters off Hatley Road in Wickware, Michigan. WIDL is owned by Edwards Communications. 92.5 Channel 223 is WBGV, Marlette, Michigan. Country 92.5, featuring a country music format. This station signed on the air on September 2nd, 1999. They have a Class A license with the FCC, broadcasting at 3,000 watts effective radiated power. Studios are at 19 South Elk Street in Sandusky. Transmitter is off of Montgomery Road in Marlette, Michigan. Owner is Senelec/GB Broadcasting. Short space next to them on 92.7 Channel 224 is WDZZ FM Flint. Z92.7, featuring an adult, or rather an urban adult contemporary format. This station signed on the air on September 29, 1979. They have a Class A license with the FCC, broadcasting with an ERP of 3,000 watts from studios at 6317 Taylor Drive in Flint. Transmitter is also in Flint, near the intersection of East Dartmouth Street and North Street. Z92.7 is owned by Cumulus Media and licensed to Cumulus Licensing, LLC. No short space here. 93.3, channel 227 is WKQZ Midland. Z93, the rock station. This is an active rocker, which is also the Tri-Cities affiliate of the Detroit Lions radio network. So this is where you turn for Detroit Lions football in Saginaw, Bay City, and Midland. WKQZ signed on as WRCI on December 14th, 1976 at 93.5 FM. The station became WKQZ on January 31st, 1986 and moved down the dial a click to 93.3 shortly thereafter. They have a Class C2 license with the FCC, broadcasting with an ERP of 39,000 watts, with studios located at 1740 Champaign Drive North in Saginaw. Their transmitter is on North Garfield Road in Mount Forest Township. WKQZ Z93, the rock station, is owned by Cumulus Media and licensed to Radio License Holdings CBC LLC. 93.7, channel 229 is WRCL Frankenmuth. Club 93.7. This station is a rhythmic CHR, which first signed on the air as WZRZ in May of 2001. That call sign dates back to March 19th of 2001. The station became WRCL on February 22nd, 2002. WRCL has a Class A license with the FCC, broadcasting at 3,500 watts. Studios at 3338 East Bristol Road, Burton, Michigan. Transmitter at 5339 Swaffer Road in Millington, Michigan. WRCL is owned by Town Square Media, licensed to Town Square Media of Flint, Incorporated. 94.5, channel 233 is WCEN FM, Hemlock, Michigan. 94.5, The Moose. This is a country music station, which signed on the air in 1959. They have a Class C1 license with the FCC, broadcasting at 100,000 watts ERP, the maximum for an FM station by FCC rules. Studios are located at 1795 Tittabawassee Road in Saginaw. Transmitter is near the intersection of West Burns Road and County Line Road in Coleman, Michigan. WCEN is owned by Alpha Media and licensed to Alpha Media License LLC. 95.1, channel 236 is WFBE Flint, or B95, which is also a country music station. Signing on the air on October 5th, 1953. And this station, fun fact, was originally owned by the Flint Board of Education. That's how they got the call sign WFBE. They have a Class B license with the Federal Communications Commission, broadcasting with an ERP of 34,000 watts. Studios are at 6317 Taylor Drive in Flint. Transmitter is located in the 3000 block of East Bristol Road in nearby Burton. WFBE is owned by Cumulus Media, licensed to Radio License Holdings CBC LLC. 96.1, channel 241 is WHNN Bay City. 96.1 WHNN, which features an adult contemporary music format, and I'm pretty sure they also play Christmas music during the holidays. I didn't write that in though. WHNN signed on the air as WBCM FM in 1947 and became WHNN in 1973. They have a Class C0 license with the FCC operating at 100,000 watts from studios of 1740 Champaign Drive North in Saginaw. Transmitters in Hampton Township off Dutchess Road, or Dutcher Road, I should say. They're owned by Cumulus Media, licensed to radio license holding CBC LLC. 96.9, Channel 245 is WBTI, Lexington, Michigan. 96.9 WBTI. This is a top 40 CHR station, which signed on as WBTI in July of 1991, but used WYDG as a call sign prior to the station's sign-on, and also used WHYT from August 22nd through November 17th, 1997, before switching back to WBTI. They have a Class A license with the FCC, broadcasting with an ERP of 3,000 watts, studios at 808 Huron Avenue in Port Huron, transmitters on Gardner Line Road in Lexington. Owner is Radio First. And I also listed WWCM Standish, Michigan. I mentioned down during the rundown of WCMU. So we'll just move on to 97.3 Channel 247, which is WMJO Essexville. 97.3 Joe FM. How much you want to bet their slogan is, we play anything? Along that line. We play anything. We play everything. You get the drift. This is a variety hit station, which means this is kind of like a Jack FM ripoff. All right, this station signed on circa 1991 as WIXC. The station became WEEG on January 5th, 1999, and WMJO on June 24th, 2004. They have a Class A license with the FCC, broadcasted at 3,000 watts ERP from studios located at 2000 Whittier Street in Saginaw, transmitter at 356 East Beard Road in Munger, Michigan. Munger, Munger, Michigan. WMJO is locally owned by McDonald Broadcasting of Saginaw, Michigan. 97.7 Channel 249 has two stations. The first is WMRX FM Beaverton, Michigan. Sunny 97.7, featuring a classic hits format. In fact, both stations on 97.7 feature a classic hits format. The other station is WTGV FM Sandusky, which is known as 97.7 WTGV. WMRX signed on the air on September 15th, 1980 as WGEO FM and became WMRX FM on December 14th, 1983. WTGV FM signed on as WMIC FM on August 17th, 1971. And became WTGV FM on August 13th, 1979. Both stations have Class A licenses with the FCC, with WMRX operating at 4,100 watts and WTGV at 3,000 watts. WMRX's studios are at 1510 Bayless Street in Midland, transmitters at 4114 Lang Road, Beaverton, Michigan, and they are owned by Black Diamond Broadcasting. WTGV studios are at 19 South Elk Street in Sandusky, with transmitter on West Cooper Road, also in Sandusky, and is owned by Sinilac GB Broadcasting. 98.1 Channel 251 is WKCO Saginaw. 98 KCO, featuring a country music format. This station signed on the air in 1968 as WSAM FM. They have a Class B license with the FCC, broadcasting at 50,000 watts from studios at 2000 Whittier Street in Saginaw, and transmitter on Hartsuff Street between South 13th and South 15th Streets, also in Saginaw. This station is also locally owned by McDonald Broadcasting, which makes it a sister station of WMJO. 98.9, Channel 255 is WOWE, Vassar, Michigan. 98.9, The Beat, which is a hip-hop station with NBC News radio updates on the hour. WOWE signed on the air on January 1st, 1990. They have a Class A license with the FCC. Sorry, have to yawn again. Broadcasting with an ERP of 3,000 watts. Studios are located at 601 South Saginaw Street, Suite 420 in downtown Flint. The station's transmitter is located off of Murphy Lake Road in Millington, and they are owned by Prestanita Broadcasting. Hopefully I said that right. 99.7, Channel 259 is WUGN, Midland. This station is a part of Family Life Radio, featuring adult contemporary Christian music, signing on as WQDC in 1961, becoming WSVC in 1970, and WUGN in 1973. They have a Class C license with the FCC, broadcasting at the full 100,000 watts. Programming originates from Family Life Radio headquarters at 7355 North Oracle Road in Tucson, Arizona. Mailing address is P.O. Box 35300, Tucson, Arizona, 85740. WUGN's transmitter is at 3247 South Geneva Road in St. Louis, Michigan. Yes, there is a St. Louis in northern Michigan. WUGN is owned by Tucson, Arizona-based Family Life Communications and licensed to Family Life Broadcasting System. 100.5, Channel 263 is WSGW Fm, Carrollton, Michigan. FM Talk and Sports 100.5. This is a news talk and sports format affiliated with CBS News Radio, Westwood 1, the Saginaw Spirit, which is a minor league junior hockey team in the Ontario Hockey League, and the Saginaw Valley State Cardinals football team. And Saginaw Valley State Cardinals football, as well as the Michigan Wolverines. This station signed on as WCWK in 1989, and this station had a pretty big identity crisis. They had 6 call sign changes with 6 sets of call letters, including WSGW FM from January 30th, 2006 until August 29th, 2007. The station retained the WSGW call sign with the FM suffix in 2009. They have a Class A license with the FCC, broadcasting at 3,000 watts effective radiated power. Studios are located at 1795 Tittabawassee Road in Saginaw. Transmitter is on Hotchkiss Drive in Bay City on the Delta College campus. WSGW FM is owned by Alpha Media, licensed to Alpha Media License LLC. And some programming is simulcast on WSGW AM Saginaw on 790. All right. Got about a page and a half left. So we're just about done here. 100.9, Channel 265 is WLUN Pinconning, Michigan. ESPN 100.9. This is a sports station affiliated with ESPN Radio and is the flagship station of the minor league baseball team that plays in Midland, known as the Great Lakes Loons, out of the Midwest League. They're the single A affiliate of the Los Angeles Dodgers. WLUN first signed on as WFXZ in November of 1983, underwent 6 call sign changes using 6 sets of call letters until becoming WLUN in 2008. Sorry guys, I can't stop yawning. I haven't been asleep yet. They have a Class A license with the FCC, broadcasting with an ERP of 2600 watts. Studios are located at 825 East Main Street in Midland. Transmitter is near the intersection of North Garfield Road and West Newman Road. That's Neuman, which is located in Pinconning, Michigan. WLUN is owned by the Michigan Baseball Foundation, owner of the Great Lakes Loons, and licensed by Michigan Radio Communications, LLC. 101.5 Channel 268 is WWBN Tuscola, Michigan. Banana 101.5 rocks. This is a mainstream rocker which first signed on the air on September 16th, 1994 as Wkmf Fm. Initially, they were at 101.7. They used WGMZ FM as a call sign during their construction permit from July of 1987 through December of 1991. It became WWBN when they signed on in September of 94. They have a Class A license with the FCC, broadcasting with 18,000 watts of power. Studios are at 3338 East Bristol Road in Burton. Transmitter is off of North Irish Road in Otisville. WWBN, Banana 101.5 rocks, is owned by Town Square Media and licensed to Town Square Media of Flint, Incorporated. And quick note, this station moved from 101.7 FM to 101.5 FM in 1996. Speaking of 101.7, Channel 269, that's our next station, WPRJ, Coleman, Michigan. Radio U, which is a Christian rock station. Signing on possibly on August 8th, 1988 as WSMZ, not sure, but they were on 101.5. The station became WPRJ on September 27th, 1991 and moved to 101.7 in 1996. They have a Class A license with the FCC, broadcasting at 4,600 watts. Their programming originates from the studios of Radio U flagship station WUFM in Columbus, Ohio. Mailing address is P.O. Box 1887, Westerville, Ohio 43086. The station's transmitter is on North 11 Mile Road in Beaverton, Michigan, and is owned by Spirit Communications. The station, that is, not the transmitter. Programming is relayed on translator stations W244VS 96.7 FM, Alma, Michigan, and W278BX 103.5 FM, Saginaw. And this is a repeater station of the aforementioned WUFM in Columbus. 102.1 Channel 271 is WLEWFM Bad Axe. Cruise 102.1. This station is a mix of classic hits and adult contemporary music with affiliations with AP Radio. This station signed on in 1956. They have a Class C2 license with the FCC, broadcasting on an ERP of 50,000 watts. Studios are at 935 South Van Dyke Road in Bad Axe. Transmitter is on the intersection of Fillion Road and Glassmere Road in Elkton, Michigan. And this station is owned by Thumb Broadcasting. Short space next to them on 102.3, channel 272 is Wgrt Port Huron. 102.3 FM Wgrt. This station plays adult contemporary music, affiliations with ABC Radio. This station signed on the air on October 18, 1991. They have a Class A license with the FCC, broadcasting at 3,000 watts CRP. Studios are at 624 Grand River Avenue in Port Huron. Their transmitter is off of Brace Road near Parker Road in Fort Gratiot Township. Wgrt is owned by Port Huron Family Radio. Short space next to them on 102.5, channel 273 is WIOG Bay City, and this station broadcasts in HD. 102.5 WIOG, the hit music channel. On 102.5 FM analog and 102.5-1 is Top 40 CHR with no additional subchannels. This station kind of has a complicated history. They signed on at 102.5 on November 12, 1961. However, the station's intellectual property at 106.3 FM in Saginaw signed on the air in September of 1969 as WSBM. WIOG used WNEM FM on 102.5 from November 12, 1961 to February 19, 1969. And then used WGER as its call sign on 102.5 from February 19, 1969 until September 1986, when they became what is now WIOG. Oh, and the WNEM call sign is presently used on the CBS television station based in Bay City on Channel 5. WIOG has a Class B license with the FCC, broadcasting with an effective radiated power of 86,000 watts, which would give them one of the area's most powerful signals. Studios are located at 1740 Champaign Drive North in Saginaw. Transmitter is off of Becker Road in an area known as Robin Glen-Indian Town in Buena Vista Township, which is east of Saginaw. And their transmitter is located across Becker Road from WNEM TV's transmitting tower. WIOG is owned by they're owned by Cumulus Media, and licensed to Radio License Holdings CBC LLC. 103.1, channel 276 has two stations. The first station is aimed to Gladwin, and that's WGDN FM Gladwin. 103 Country, which is a country music station affiliated with WGDN AM, their sister station, which is technically a contemporary Christian station. This station signed on the air on February 7, 1979 as WGMM and became WGDN FM on February 9, 1987. They have a Class C3 license with the FCC, broadcasting at 25,000 watts, although Wikipedia lists their ERP at 11,500 watts. Their studios are at 3601 West Woods Road, with transmitter on South Grant Road, both in Gladwin, Michigan. And this station is owned by the Apple Broadcasting Company. The other station on 103.1, channel 276 is WQUS Lapeer, US 103.1, which is a classic rock station and an affiliate of the Flint Firebirds, a minor league hockey team in the Ontario Hockey League. as well as Lapeer Lightning High School football. This station signed on the air as Wkmf Fm on February 6, 1968. Underwent 4 call sign changes using 4 sets of call letters until they became WQUS on January 17, 2003. They have a Class A license with the FCC, broadcasting at 2,600 watts. The studios at 3338 East Bristol in Burton, Michigan. Transmitters on Haynes Road in Attica, Michigan. WQUS US 1031 is owned by Town Square Media and licensed to Town Square Media Flint Incorporated. Programming is simulcast on WLCO 1530 AM in Lapeer during daytime hours only. As I mentioned earlier, WLCO is a daytimer and must sign off the air at sundown. 103.7, Channel 279 is WCZE, Harbor Beach. Positive Country 103.7. Which is a country music station. Signing on the air in April of 2005, they have a Class C2 license with the FCC and a pretty good signal. ERP is 43,000 watts. Studios are unknown, but they're probably located in Bad Axe somewhere. Their mailing address is P.O. Box 86, Bad Axe, Michigan 48413. The station's transmitter is on South Bad Axe Road in Ubley, Michigan. And they are owned by Jennifer and Edward Zalata. Short space next to them on 103.9 Channel 280 is WRSR Owasso. 103.9 The Fox. Classic rock. That really rocks. This is a classic rock station. And it's the Owasso area affiliate of the Detroit Lions. In fact, this is the Flint affiliate of the Detroit Lions. This station signed on the air in 1965 as WOAP FM, underwent 2 call sign changes using 2 sets of call letters until they became WRSR on May 15, 1998. They have a Class A license with the FCC, broadcasting at 2,850 watts ERP. Studios are at 4511 Miller Road in Flint. Transmitters in Corona, Michigan, off of South Durand Road. And this station is owned by Kroll Communications Incorporated. Short space next to them on 104.1 Channel 281 is WSAG Linwood, Michigan, 1400 AM and 104 FM The Bay, which is a soft adult contemporary station. Signing on the air on November of 2002, they have a Class A license with the FCC, broadcasting with an ERP of 4,600 watts. Studios are at 2000 Whittier Street in Saginaw. Transmitters located off of East Cottage Grove Road in Linwood, and is locally owned by Saginaw-based McDonald Broadcasting. Programming is simulcast on WSAM 1400 AM in Saginaw. And now we are down to the final 5 stations, if you can believe that. 104.5, Channel 283 is WILZ, Saginaw. Whls, 104.5. This is a classic rock station and Saginaw's official home of the Michigan State Spartans. The station signed on the air in 1992 as WUVE. The station's call sign dates back to March 3rd, 1991, during the station's construction permit. They became WMGA on April 8th, 1995, and WILZ on March 19th, 1999. They have a Class A license with the FCC, broadcasting with an ERP of 2,900 watts. Studios are located at 1740 Champaign Drive North in Saginaw, and the transmitter is off of Trevner Street, also in Saginaw. This station is owned by Cumulus Media, licensed to Radio License Holdings CBC LLC. 105.5, channel 288 is WWCK Fm Flint, and this station broadcasts in high definition. They're known as CK 105.5 on 105.5 FM analog, and 105.5-1 is top 40 CHR with no additional subchannels. The station signed on the air in September of 1964 as WMRP FM and became WWCK FM on December 5th, 1971. They have a Class B1 license with the FCC, broadcasting with an effective radiated power of 25,000 watts. Studios are located at 6317 Taylor Drive in Flint. Transmitters on Dort Highway M54 at I-69 in Flint. WWCK FM is owned by Cumulus Media, licensed to Cumulus Licensing LLC. 106.3, channel 292 is WGER Saginaw. Mix 106.3, featuring a hot adult contemporary format. And just like 102.5, this is a pretty complicated history too. WGER signed on November 12, 1961, the intellectual property on Bay City's 102.5 as WNEM FM. The 106.3 frequency technically signed on the air in September of 1969, and they were known as WGER then. They have a Class A license with the FCC, broadcasting with an ERP output of 4,400 watts. Studios are located at 1795 Tettabawasi Road in Saginaw. Transmitters on Tettabawasi Road at I-675, also in Saginaw, presumably behind the station. Owner is Alpha Media, licensee is Alpha Media License LLC. 107.1, channel 296 has two stations. The first at the thumb, and that's WSAQ Port Huron, Q Country 107, featuring a country music format, signing on the air as WHLS FM on August 7th, 1964. They have a Class A license with the FCC, broadcasting with an ERP of 6,000 watts. Studios are at 808 Huron Avenue in Port Huron. Transmitter is located on the southwest corner of 32nd Street and Lapeer Road in Port Huron. Owner is Radio First. Also on 107.1 is WTLZ Saginaw, KISS 107.1, which features an urban adult contemporary format. This station signed on the air in 1969 as WWWS and became WTLZ on September 15, 1988. They have a Class A license with the FCC, broadcasting with an ERP output of 4,900 watts from studios at 1795 Tettabawasi Road in Saginaw. Transmitter is at the end of Studer Road near the Cass River, also in Saginaw. And they too are owned by Alpha Media and licensed to Alpha Media Licensee LLC. And the final station we'll look at is 107.9, channel 300, broadcasting in high definition, and that's WCRZ Flint. Cars 108. Playing adult contemporary music for much of the year, and then they play Christmas music during the holidays. Affiliations with Premier Networks. WCRZ first signed on the air on November 4th, 1961 as WGHC, or rather WGMZ. They became WCRZ in 1984. They have a Class B license with the FCC, broadcasting with an effective radiated power of 50,000 watts. Studios are located at 3338 East Bristol Road in Burton, Michigan. Transmitter is in the 3400 block of South Vassar Road, also in Burton, Michigan. WCRZ Cars 108 is owned by Town Square Media and licensed to Town Square Media of Flint, LLC. And that is a look, ladies and gentlemen, at the Flint, the Tri-Cities, and the Thumb area radio stations. Now, we will wrap up our series on the AM and FM radio stations across southern lower Michigan with a reissue of the Detroit area market. That will be coming soon, so I'll be getting on info gathering in about the next week or so. In the meantime, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, ring the bell twice, and get notified every time I do a live video just like this one. This is Big Al signing off. Thanks for watching and happy listening. Peace out.